Good eve, everyone. I will read another horror confession. Title of the story is Scary as Hell Part 1. So, I have been hearing stories from my cousins and friends who studied and are currently studying in the University of Santo Tomas. I'm not really from your school, but anyway, I did visited the university several times. From headless priests to wailing banshees and playful souls, there were a few stories relayed to me that quite boggled and disturbed my mind just thinking about it. Cousins steal some notes of ours, since we'll be having an exam the other day. One of my friends, Annika, asked if we could drop by the comfort room before we head home. She lives in Bulacan, and it's really hard to hold back your urge to pee during the travel. So, we accompanied her. While she was doing her thing, my friends and I were pampering ourselves, then suddenly someone started screaming. My heart skipped a beat as me and my friends turned our heads quickly to see what's going on. Annika was still inside the cubicle and kept on banging the cubicle door. She was screaming, "Let me out! Open the damn door!" My friends and I panicked, and we really don't have any idea how to open the door since the lock was inside from where she was. Luckily, my other friend, Emmy, took her ID and tried twisting the sort of lock from the outside. When Emmy managed to twist it, Annika fell off the ground and she was crying so hard. We hugged her and asked what happened. She continued to cry, and another from my friends, Joyce, stroked her hair. After stroking her hair, she noticed something odd. She stared at her hand and gave an indifferent look. "Is this blood?" she asked as I grabbed her hand and examined it. I smelled it then. Annika started screaming again. We quickly took our bags and dragged Annika out of the comfort room. We assisted her as we went back to our room from our previous class and asked Annika, what happened. She tried talking, but we can't really understand what she was saying, so we tried to calm her a bit until she was ready to speak up. It so happened that I opened my bag for that moment and realized my phone wasn't there. Then I figured I must have placed it on the countertop of the lavatory when I was busy putting on powder. I told my friends that I will be going back to the comfort room to check if it was there. So, they nodded and I proceeded. It was so quiet in the corridor, until I reached the comfort room where I can hear horns of jeepneys, cars and trucks from the outside. I quickly glanced at the countertop and I saw my phone laying there. I grabbed it and placed it in my pocket. Since I was in the comfort room, I decided to pee before heading back to the classroom where my friends were. I checked for available cubicles and noticed no one else was there but me. The cubicle where Annika peed was the closest one to me, so I went in. I sat down on the toilet seat and did my thing. As I was peeing, I heard faint droplets coming from somewhere. It was echoing in the comfort room. I just thought it may be coming from a faucet that wasn't properly closed. I stood up and fixed my pants, and with a step, my foot slid as if I stepped on something wet. Still inside the cubicle, I carefully looked down and saw blood. Blood everywhere on the floor. Completely shocked and confused, I came back to my senses when I felt a droplet hit my head, coming from above. I felt goosebumps and I didn't know if I should look up or run my way out of the comfort room. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath before opening my eyes again and slowly opened the cubicle's door. Then guess what I saw? From the reflection of the mirror, there was a girl hanging on the ceiling, all covered in blood, and her dress was awfully tattered. Her toes are about an inch away from head. I felt tears ran down from my eyes in an instant. It was such a horrible and terrifying sight. I quickly ran outside the comfort room, not knowing where I was going. I bumped into a professor and she looked at me anxiously. "What on earth are you running from, young lady?" she asked. Then without a second thought, I narrated everything. At first she didn't seem to believe anything I have just said, so I just cried in front of her. I went back to our classroom to find my friends still there. They all jumped from their seats and asked me why I was crying. I told them what I saw. Annika started crying again and she told us why she was screaming earlier. With the same instance, but Annika looked up when she noticed the blood on the floor. Unlike me, I only saw the girl from the reflection of the mirror that was directly facing the cubicles. Another is that I didn't really get to see the girl's face. She has her back turned away from the mirror. But Annika saw everything. She said that the girl was gurgling blood from her mouth while smiling at her. Finn. Cinder. Alistair.